Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are we recording? Yes. Michael? That's it? Okay, great. Thank you. All right, minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to, accept the minutes of June 21st, 2019 as written.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Correspondence. There you go.
I have a couple of things, Mr. Chairman. First, the office received a letter from residents of Brookfield Road citing the concerns of a proposed solar project. The office also received several emails from residents echoing their concerns with regard to solar. It has been noted, it's in the file, and it's part of the records, folks. The office also received correspondence from residents of Town Farm Road regarding the persistent noise from Palmer Racetrack. The residents are urging town officials to take action. Mr. Chairman, I happened to be in the office when that lady from Town Farm, who has been in to see us a couple of times, after she left the office that day, Rebecca got on the phone, got in touch with the people from Palmer. I guess whatever the situation is right now, it's in litigation. So there is very not much information available to the general public. One, people have to realize that it's not even in our town. We have expressed our concerns and hope that the people of Palmer take Warren's residents and abutters issues into consideration when they end up making a decision, but it's really out of our control. But we do like to keep on top of it, so we did get in contact with the people to make sure that it's not an issue that the board is ignoring. Number 3, the office received monthly report of certain emergency management for the months ending May and June 2019, and the police and fire chief's report for the month ending June 2019. Thank you very much, both of you chiefs. Park and Recreation's Concerts in the Park series continues on Friday evenings at Dean Park. All concerts begin at 6 p.m. In addition, a free tennis program will be offered to residents on Mondays and Wednesdays beginning on July 15th and will run through August 14th. More information on both of these events is available on the town's website at www.warren-ma.info. Parks and Rec will be holding a townwide tag sale on Saturday, September 7th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. More information on this event is also available on the town's website at www.warren-mass.gov. And lastly, the Veterans Council will be hosting its 4th annual Purple Heart Breakfast on Sunday, August 4th at 10 a.m. at the Senior Center. The town will take this opportunity to acknowledge our Purple Heart recipients. Veterans and their families are welcome to attend. More information can be obtained by contacting Becky here at the Board of Selectmen's office.
Thank you, Mark. Old business.
I have a couple of things, Mr. Chairman, just to give the people in town an update. We have 2 or 3 ongoing issues that we've been bouncing around. First, the 980 lot, parking lot downtown. Unfortunately, when money was put aside for this, there was a dollar amount just kind of taken out and dumped into the account, but it is not nearly enough to cover everything that has to be done. When you do the paving, it's not only the paving, you have the prep work, we have to put a light in the parking lot, we have signage to do, we have striping to do, we have a fence that's been requested by the water department to put the line down there to keep a little bit of law and order in that, so there's one entrance in, one entrance out. Long and short of it is, it was about $23,500 worth of work, and we have $15,000 to do it with. Well, the board has reached out and has gotten in touch with some of our local businesses. Lowe's has stepped up to the plate. Palmer Paving has stepped up to the plate big time again. They have been very, very good to the town of Warren. So as it looks right now with the donations and doing some of the work in-house ourselves, that between Lowe's and Palmer Paving, and I have another local business that I don't have a commitment yet, but we're gonna get the work done for under the $15,000.
Thanks for your
So
work.
the only thing we have to do is I spoke to Palmer Paving, Mr. Mike Shea down here, he's pretty much the officer in charge down there now. That all we have to do is I have to get a date when they are gonna come in, because our highway department has also stepped up. They're gonna come in and do the prep work, which is gonna save us about $1,200. But I do need a date from Palmer Paving so I can get our highway guys in there a couple of days before. We'll close a lot, we'll prep it, we'll pave it, and that'll be one project off the books. So, long time coming, but we're moving forward.
Did you say that?
Pardon me?
Did you say Cornerstone?
No.
Okay.
So that'll be done probably by the end of the month, hopefully. Brand new shiny lot, it should be looking good and really complete the renovation of downtown. The dumpster, that's been a discussion, all we gotta do, pick a date. Did we pick a date, Beck?
Someone's gonna work for, Adam, would you be ready for, I know Marc, you wanted it for.
Monday or
Monday,
Tuesday.
Because Nason's is
Right.
closed.
Less intrusive.
August 12th?
August 12th, good for you? Okay,
Chief, good for you as well?
so
Okay, we'll call.
Becky will get that set up, and obviously we have a donation of $200 from Chief of the Fire Department, $200 from
Friends.
our friends at the Town Hall, and the balance will be paid by somebody.
What time? What time?
What time? The dumpster?
Yeah, what time do people like to get there to help?
No volunteers. We have to, we have liability issues, we have safety issues. I'm gonna have a couple of the part-time summer help do it.
Part-time who?
Our
Summer help.
seasonal workers.
I appreciate the offer, but it just puts the board into a little bit of a liability issue. So, that's on the agenda. And the last was the scrap items, and I guess this really regards the bicycles in the basement.
Well, the bicycle and
Something for
in the truck down at sewer.
Oh, that's right. So the bicycles, I know we had a discussion, you know, we wanted to do it last year. There seemed to be a lot of conversation about who's gonna clean them and bleach them and auction them and this and that, and it's been declared by department head as scrap. All they wanna do is get the stuff out of the thing. I don't wanna make an issue of it. So, if that's the board's pleasure and they wanna go ahead, we will give the okay to Mr. Lamro, who has offered to take them off our hands. And unless you have something to add, John, let's just get this off our plate. You okay with that?
I'm okay with that. I'd like to go take a look at the bikes, though. If there's anything salvageable that maybe we could give up to some residents or someone.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that, and one of the reasons is we put the dumpster to the 12th is, you know, I've had that conversation with you, Chief, that you're gonna have to go through, and there's some records that have to be taken at, and I guess we'll have to go through to see if there's anything worth salvaging, otherwise it's all going in the dumpster.
Stanley?
Stanley?
I have a comment to make. I've been down there in the bicycle area 3 times. I've gone through the bikes personally. There are at least a dozen that are worthwhile salvaging. All you need to do is put air in the tires, pressure wash them. I'm sure some kid in some town would be glad to take it for free. A little bit of work, why not?
The point is, we had this conversation before, who's gonna do it?
I think Adam would be glad to do it. He does everything else with the pressure washer.
I just want the issue done and resolved. It would be great to sit there and have somebody come in and say, yeah, everybody take a bike.
Issue has been sitting here for over a year, Mark.
Yes, I know that. That's why we're trying to get them out of there.
Chief, can I get down there with you sometime this week? Maybe take a quick look at this down there.
So if that's the concern, John will go down. If there's something that is, right, maybe too nice to get rid of, I guess we would, but I would like to get moving on this and get them out of there.
Take a look at them this week, Mark.
And what's the board's opinion regarding the S-250 down at sewer? Is it able to put that up on the municipal?
Their vehicle, as long as it goes up in municipal and we go through the process, I have no problem with it.
And Sean did send out an email to all the departments. I know there was one department that expressed interest, but the frame was cracked, so it's not roadworthy at all. So we don't wanna give one headache to another, from one department to another.
Who was looking at it?
Parks.
That's why we're trying to get rid of it.
Yeah,
We're done doing good money after that.
so it's okay for sewer.
Jeremy has no,
As long as the paperwork's been done in the right way, Becky, I don't have a problem. Let's get this up. That's it, John.
next item is discussion of possible vote on farm excise tax exemption, Board of Assessors. We have a letter from the board. Board of Assessors are requesting the farm animal machinery excise tax local option to exempt be placed on the agenda for the July 9th, 2019 meeting of the Board of Selectmen for discussion of possible vote. Members of our board and staff plan to be present in order to address any questions or concerns the board may have. Don't hesitate to call with any questions and concerns.
They were here last week.
They were here last
Yeah.
week. Sorry, I wasn't.
It's okay.
I was stuck
It's okay.
in London.
Well, as you
If
know,
I'm not
John.
mistaken, I think the Board of Assessors was willing to forego this
Yes.
until they get their handle on it because it's a change.
But this is something that with the board, this board's about to go on a warrant in the fall.
I'm okay with holding off on it. Full agreement. Mark?
Yeah, you know, this was one of those issues that came up out of nowhere because, you know, we've had issues in the past down, excuse me, in that office. And Rachel is obviously new to the position and basically went after every conceivable nickel that she could get. And this was one of those things that was long forgotten, that there was no ill will or somebody sitting there trying to stick it to a few local farmers left. But I think it got a little out of hand and the emails and the Facebook thing started before there was any conversation. Once people went down there and talked to Rachel and realized how it would impact the few local farmers that we have left, the board went down there, got in front, put it on the agenda for them, and we've had conversations between Becky and the various board members, and there is no issue. So at this time, I am going to make a motion to put that item on the next town meeting, and that issue, as far as this board is concerned, is done and over with.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ma'am?
Hi, my name is Heather. I'm from Rogers Farm in Warren, and I would just like to correct the record and say that Will personally went down and tried to correct the problem and was not heard. That's when we went to Facebook and everything else. So I just want that for the record.
That's quite,
Thank you.
that's fine, ma'am. but the situation is now all taken care of.
That's fine. I just want the record straight.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
I skipped over number 6, we're gonna table that, it's a discussion and possible vote on the police chief position.
So we have a full board,
So we have a full board.
tentatively on the 30th, I guess, John.
Okay, next we have discussion possible appointment of planning board's recommendation of David P. DeFreeze to fill the vacancy on the planning board. A vacancy, so. Any discussion?
I'll make a motion. Make a motion to appoint David P. Dufresne for one of the vacant positions on the planning board.
A second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
That was based on the recommendation.
from the planning board.
Based on the recommendation of the planning board.
Now we have a second open position, we have yet to receive any recommendation from the planning board.
So there's one position.
We'll wait, hopefully the planning board will forward us another recommendation shortly.
Sir?
Yes, may I ask why Drew King's name has not been put into consideration? There's no one more qualified than she is. She has been at every planning board meeting.
It is in consideration, but for all boards, we request that the board itself recommend, and then we'll make the appointment based on their recommendation. So that discussion should come up with the planning board. I mean, I talked to Drew myself last week and understand her position, so, but again, it's their board, so we're waiting for a recommendation from them.
Will that discussion with the planning board be made public?
Every planning board
In
member.
writing?
It's a public meeting, so it should be public information. So. She's the only other person I'm aware of that has shown an interest, so once we get a recommendation from them.
You couldn't do any better.
No, like I said, I talked to her last week, and she sounded like she was extremely interested, and again, once we get the recommendation from the planning board, we'll move on.
And I do understand that.
Yes.
The law says that the appointment's done, the Board of Selectmen with the, whatever department is replacing. So isn't there a vote taken through both boards, or do they just get to say what they want?
Typically, once they make the recommendation, we approve it, so
It's not a roll call.
it's not a,
They plan on moving forward tonight at 7:15.
They're taking it tonight?
Correct. That's on their agenda.
so our approval is basically a formality, so we have the approval right. If we had no recommendations, then we would probably jump in and make a recommendation ourselves. So.
But you've recommended in the past, there's been a recommendation put in front of you and you've recommended someone else, just for the record. Just for the record. That's where this is all going. Doesn't need a roll call vote.
No, I know that. That's what I just said.
So just be clear about that.
Okay, year-end transfers, discussions, possible votes.
So you have two in front of you that FinCom has already addressed, one for the tax collector and one for the town treasurer. The tax collector was here last week, but she's on vacation away, this week, so she's away. She's asking for $306.46 to be transferred into tax title expense. And then the treasurer is asking for $65 into treasurer expense.
And both have been through FinCom.
Those two have, yes, and approved.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve year-end transfer in the amount of $306.46 to the tax collector,
Second,
and a motion to transfer $65 to the treasurer as a year-end transfer.
second that as well. Any further discussion?
Nope.
Then you also have two in front of you that have not, they're new, they have not been in front of the finance committee as of yet. They are posted this evening. One is for the Board of Assessors in the amount of $184.95. And there's some backup in your folders, and I do believe, Barry, did you get a copy of the backup
For the police department?
for
No.
the assessors?
Assessors.
I didn't get anything from the assessors.
She gave me the originals this afternoon. So sorry. So that's for, as you can see, a flagpole. And again, that amount was $184.95.
It's for a what?
A flagpole. Wait, the pole, not the flag, just the pole.
For the assessor's office?
Correct.
Did this go by FinCom now, Barry?
No,
It's in- right now.
Right now?
This is the first I heard of it this morning.
What do you think?
I'm not gonna approve that.
I guess the issue is this was talked about a few months ago. They put in a request to do it, and they didn't have any money. They were told they could not buy it, they could not deficit spend, it's against the law. They came back again, they wanted to do it. You don't have any money in your account. If you have money left over at the end of the year, you're very, very welcome to do it. But the bills come first. Well, the long and short of it is, the flagpole went out and bought. Now they want the money back.
Right.
I don't have an issue with somebody buying a flagpole, but I do have an issue with somebody being told that they can't, and then they go ahead and do it. So, we don't have a recommendation from FinCom. From what I understand, Rebecca has been in touch with Mr. Nardi, is not in favor of it, nor am I. So the only other way we can address this is to put it on an article at the next meeting, which we've done many times in the past. But that's my personal opinion, Mr. Chairman.
You know, see, we don't have to support a FinCom, and we have discussed this in the past, and I'm gonna pass on it.
That's a no. We have one more for the PD?
we do. In the amount of $200 from police janitor to police purchase. They had a couple of things that came up. Some housing for 2 prisoners, that was unexpected. So,
FinCom, where this one? Barry?
I'll use the rule of necessity to pass this.
Becky, could you repeat that, what it is? I couldn't quite hear it.
yes, it was $200 from being transferred from police janitor to police purchase. They had to house 2 prisoners, so.
This was the account that I had transferred last time for. We didn't account for the 2 prisoners that were gonna be housed.
Okay.
So that was unforeseen.
I will make a motion to approve that one.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Warrants and invoices.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve warrant number 106, dated 6/24/2019, amount $40,064.51. Also, a motion to approve vendor warrant 107, 6/24/2019, that amount $67,194.92. Make a motion to approve warrant 108, dated 6/30/2019, that amount $56,945.62. Make a motion to approve drawdown, Community Assistance Program, grant number 0844, pay is Pioneer Valley Planning Commission, that amount $6,481.06. And fiscal year 17, Community Assistance Grant Program 0813, pay is Pioneer Valley Planning Commission, that amount $748.19. And lastly, warrant number 1, dated 7/1/2019, that amount $367,357. And warrant number 2 dated 7/8/2019, that amount $44,169.35. It's a lot of money.
The warrant number 1 is the catch up for,
That's if you pay the, you get the break, the discount, that's the discount.
That's it there, Mr. Chairman.
second. Any further discussion?
Nope. Aye.
Aye.
Sure hope.
Okay, new business.
I have one item on mine, I know I brought it up to Rebecca before, a little transformer out here. As you see, we have a tree growing out of it again. We've called 2 or 3 times in the past. I can take a pair of scissors and cut the top off so it doesn't show. But National Grid has to go inside that box, and obviously there is a tree growing in it. I would like it taken care of before we come in one day and that tree blows all the power to this building and we're in a real mess. So please call National Grid again and have somebody come up there and take care of that. And that's all I have this week.
They have nothing new to add. Been a busy summer so far. Comments and concerns? Stanley?
I have a question. Under this graph issue, there are 3 cars, vehicles, so that's the highway department, the chief's old car, and 2 cars that were impounded. Also, the sewer department wants to get rid of the pickup truck. Can we have an auction, or can we sell that for scrap?
Process would be to put it on municipal bid, first of all.
Been up there for years.
Well,
That truck is
I'm
recently.
aware of the truck,
Right.
the pickup truck from
Correct.
sewer.
Jerry, are you familiar with any of the old
I know the
impound?
old car, I don't know what else is up there. I have to look into that.
Take a look into it and get back to us, please.
Yeah.
Let us
When you
know.
say the old car, do you mean the
The 500?
the unmarked?
Yeah, I know that's up there.
Maybe get a hold of Jerry as well and see if he has any information regarding what's there.
Because we just cleaned that lot up last year.
Yeah, I went up
I
there
don't
about a
wanna
month
start
ago
if I use-
myself and noticed there was a
use
couple
car
vehicles
lot
parked
up
out in the
there.
back. Noted.
Thank you.
Michael?
Yes, hi there. Just 2 quick things I'll make in under a minute. You don't have any, so obviously this is a public meeting, so just to reconfirm, there's no issue with me videotaping public meetings, correct?
No, as long
Okay.
as you inform
Yeah,
the
exactly.
chair that you're doing it,
Okay.
it's totally legal.
Okay, great, thank you. And then the second quick item I had is I just wanted to make a public statement. It's really simple. There was something on social media that I was running for selectmen. I just wanted to publicly say that was what was posted was incorrect information. So I just wanted the opportunity to say I was not running for selectmen. And the only part 2 to this is, I won't get into the whole thing, but I'll just make it simple is my campaign sign from 2015 was visible this year, even though I was not running for selectmen. And the reason for that was it was a intentional test that was put out there to see if somebody would tamper with the sign. The sign was tampered with, and there was a resident that was threatened. That also had a second sign in her yard by individuals. I won't get into the details. But I will at some point, what I would like to do is, in the future, probably at some point in time, is I would like to submit an agenda request to come in front of the selectmen. I did actually lodge a complaint with Jerry Millette here, and I would like for Jerry and myself to come in front of the board to discuss that. Basically asked him to file a police report on it. He has replied back to me in email. It was under investigation. The only issue that I had concerns is I believed it was some town employees that had tampered with it, which I felt would be a serious issue that the sign was tampered with, and I wanted Jerry to be sure that Jerry was on the same page, not just for me, but for anybody running for election at any point in time, that when you put a campaign sign anywhere out, that is your property and nobody has the right to tamper with it. And obviously, with that issue that it was tampered with, I thought that the issue should be properly addressed by the police department. So I will be submitting requests, and I would respectfully ask that Jerry Millett be invited to that, and I would like to present the evidence, and I would like Jerry to be there to make sure the police department follows through in proper
First step.
investigation and so forth. And that's all I have.
First step is to get on the agenda.
Yeah, oh, absolutely correct, yeah,
Get on
and explain the whole
agenda,
thing,
you
yes,
have some
correct.
backup information of what's going on, so
Exactly, yes.
we'll wait to hear.
Yes, I will submit it, yes, and I would like to present that information at the time. And that's all I have, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Hearing no. Next meeting date, we set that yet,
It's
Becky?
gonna tentatively be July 30th.
July
at 7
30th?
o'clock, which is a Tuesday night. So 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Seeing there's no other comments and concerns, gonna have to adjourn this, and we're gonna go into executive session under Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section...
Sorry. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna entertain a motion to recess until 7:15. At such time, we'll join the planning board, and then at some point during the meeting, you're gonna make a motion to go into executive session. Actually, you could do that tonight, right now.
Okay, so we're going
So we're gonna.
recess?
We're
I'll
gonna
make a
recess the
motion to
meeting
recess.
and we're gonna join the planning board at 7:15. And then at some point, we're gonna go into executive session and not to return to open. Because we don't know how long they're
Have a bunch
So, make a motion to recess until 7:15.
I made the motion.
Oh, second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
6:30.
Third.
Folks.